But I've been fortunate enough though, but going through school, as much as I say it was horrendous and the feeling I had inside was really not nice and not pleasant, I was good at football, so I had that get out of jail free card with all my peers at school. I was a cool kid because I was good at football, and I probably never suffered as much as maybe others who went undiagnosed or who struggled at the same time. I had went from primary school into secondary school, and during my first year of secondary school is when I started getting tested for dyslexia. Going through primary school I wasn't great with reading or spelling, and as it used to be, spell test on a Friday, everybody stands up, and if you get them all right, sit down all the way down to the ones at the end, and I was inevitably the ones at the end, so that feeling was horrific. So obviously the jump into secondary school and your education moves on, and there's a bit more detail to it. It was quite apparent, I think, not to myself but to the teachers and the learning support, that something might not be right, so I get tested, diagnosed, and yeah, that was the start of my journey. Well, up until the point I was diagnosed, I just thought I was thick and silly, and I just wasn't good at it. And then when you actually work out that there is something wrong, even when you get diagnosed with it, it's not so much as a relief. I think it was more when I started to get the tools to help me read or my view of the letters and the words was clearer, that was the relief, that this is much easier. And when things become easier, your confidence grows, and an enjoyment actually throughout my teenage years. There was an enjoyment in reading. I went through school hating reading, poor at reading, really worried when the school teacher was going to say, right, you're going to read the next paragraph, and scanning ahead, desperately trying to cling on to anything that would help me get past that dreaded paragraph, to being a 18, 20-year-old and after training going to a coffee shop, sitting reading a book. But that's where I went from to, and even today it's one of the most enjoyable things I have, is just reading a book when you're on holiday and yeah, letting your imagination run wild. From coloured overlays and reading books to working out what actual colours help you in terms of the text colour to the background colour. Like, every book's just white and black, but I find it much easier to read on navy text on a cream background and things like that. So all the tools just make things so much easier, and I'm experiencing it now with my daughters when they're learning to read. The joining up and the words that become second nature when you're reading a book, it makes everything so much more enjoyable. So that's the biggest benefit I have. I have my moments, but to be honest, I'm very much comfortable in my skin now, and comfortable with whether I'm putting a presentation on for the squad to read, or I have a meeting to do with anybody out with, or I'm presenting to the academy and I've got slides with lots of text, or I have slides the day of the game. I just get people to proofread them and check that the spelling and the sense of what I'm trying to say comes across right, and I'm comfortable with that. And technology today, iPads, iPhones and Android tablets and everything else helps you. In my role of Dyslexia Scotland, I've seen firsthand at schools, and the benefits of all the help that are at our fingertips now is incredible. It's vitally important that the support's there and the information's there to work out what works for you, because having dyslexia is I've not seen it as a negative. It's massively important that companies like Theorise can come in and help young people learn, educate them, and give them the tools to not let this be a thing that holds them back, and I let them understand how much positivity there is around dyslexia, and opens their mind to understanding the full what is dyslexia, what the benefits are, and all the tools, like I said, that can help them progress in their lives as adults and also their careers.